Today we've got Emme with us and job shadowing, and she's been asking me a bunch of questions, and then we got stumped on an item, so we came out to the antique mall to ask for some expert advice, and now we're going to look around the mall and see if we can find anything to thrift for e-commerce, because that's the fun of job shadowing and thrifting. So this area is 50% off. Seeing anything. I'm getting something. That's a beautiful cross at 50% off. Oh, it's all scratched up. The paint's coming off. So we'll let Emme wander around and just dictate. Oh, hold it, Emme. Do you want to go and get a little basket cart up front so we can hold our stuff in? Because I think that the lady that buys from us would like to have these. These are just absolutely pretty, and at $4 a piece and 80% off of the booze, that's going to be like 50 cents each. We're going to get these two items at 80% off. Yeah, I know. I'm like, why didn't I see this stuff before? What? Oh, for how much? $2. Okay, hold on. I don't know a whole lot about this wrapping. I know the safari ones, what are they called? I know the safari ones, but I don't know about these. 12, 80% off. What's 80% of 12? 4? No, that's 75. 3? I think for $3 we can take a chance. Okay, you lead the way. It goes all the way down that way. That's cute. Pansies. $6. What's the percent off? This is only 30% off. This is the PG depression glass stuff, but it's also clear. So let's go find a high off value. Let's go. Where? Huh? Why? To your sister? You know what? She could have been just as rude to you. She could have spoke to you, right? Oh, well, she did, didn't she? Glass bunny, $16. I don't know what this is only 40% off. Stick it. weird. This booth is 75% off. It's too bad the other shaker to this cow isn't there. What do you think? It was at this point that my microphone decided to die. So I'm going to have to do a voiceover through the rest of this. This booth here we're in is 75% off. And I didn't think we got anything out of the booth. Emme picked up this green vase, and I had picked it up the other day. To me, it looks like somebody was attempting to make a fish and it didn't go right, and we laughed about it. So there are a lot of cute things in this booth, and but Emmy's really feeling nervous right now. She's very uncomfortable because her and her sister do not get along at all, and she knows her sister's in the mall and she's afraid her sister's going to cause trouble. So we went over and looked in this booth. It's 80% off. We were looking at these wolf plates because we knew CJ would really like them, but I noticed that there's no way to hang them because the backs of them, or both of them, broke. You can see right there where the stand thing is broke. And this is a pretty lamp, but CJ really doesn't, until we put some shelves or something in his room, he doesn't really have room for any more wolves and stuff. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was looking at there. It was out of camera. Oh, it was a butter dish, but that was a very, very thin tin put on a really nice glass bottom. I don't know why they would do that. It just didn't seem right. I was looking at that basket. I thought it had a greenery in it, but that was just a vine laying in it, and it I have not. Let me look in this booth. I was trying to get Emme to lead the way, but with her being as uncomfortable as she was, she really was not enjoying being there. And I love this glass, but a lot of it was, she wanted that, but it was like $28 and there was only 10% off the booth. So we didn't get that because maybe closer to the end of the month before the mall closes. And that was a firm price, so that we wouldn't even got the 10% off on that one. So, but maybe closer to the end of the month. This may be the booth owner or the mall owner's booth. I'm not sure.
I thought this was really cute. But it didn't have a price on it, so we didn't get it. And I looked at this cross, and there was no percent off on that booth. And they wanted like $19 or $12, I can't remember, but it would have still made it way out of the price range that I was asked to stay under for crosses. And I thought this was soapstone, but it's not. It's just resin. I don't even remember what the price on it was. But I could go back and get it for somebody if they'd like me to go back and get it. I think it was maybe $13 or something like that. I didn't purchase the uranium glass because most of it came out of my store. Emmy picked up this slag glass vase and it was really pretty, but the price was way too high. And I'm back looking at Pastor Jean's booth, and I will notice a cross that, did you just see the cross that was in the floor right there? He sold it to me for only $1. Emmy felt comfortable in his booth because he is a minister and she knows he's a good friend of mine, so she felt really comfortable in his booth only because I guess she felt the male presence would make her protected. That was really pretty. No, I don't know what I was looking at the light for. There it is, the cross. It's really pretty. I was happy to pay $1 for it. That looks like antique barbed wire to me. Where's Emmy? I'm walking around. Where's Emmy? Where's Emmy? She actually wanted to get away from her sister because she'd seen her sister again, so she went as far away as she could. I was like just at one point just standing there saying, Emmy! Doing the Marco Polo thing. And after I go around this corner, then I find her, I think, hiding back here, way far back in the corner. There she is. And then I took her back here and showed her some of this glass. And we got to play with the flashlight a little bit, looking at some of it glow. But they still only had 30% off in this booth, so at the prices that they wanted for their glass, we just couldn't get any of it. There's the glow we look for. That one didn't glow. And I was looking for the custard glass because it had been up at the top, I think. And then I was like, Emmy, look. She's going, oh, no way. That was her response. But I love how that glows. And I have a low UV light. It's just a little flashlight for auto mechanics, but it still shows the glow. Look, there's the glow. These don't glow. Yeah, they did. I thought those were Avon, but they weren't Avon. There's the one that don't glow. No glow. I love this hobnail and blue opalescent. We were talking about these cookie jars. I know CJ'd love to have that wolf one, but their prices are just too high. And we decided one of them was a bear and the other one was a wolf. And then looking for more glows. No glow. No glow. That pink opalescent, I was surprised that it kind of glowed a little bit. It didn't glow much. It may have just been dust glowing on it. I'm not sure. But I love that fairy light. That's a cut to clear. It didn't glow. But at the white part at the edge of that, see how it glows right there at the clear? But at $130, it was way out of our price range. Especially since we're back to butch funding our shopping sprees or thrifting sprees. Emmy liked a bunch of items in this case, but it was locked and she didn't feel like waiting for a key. But she loves bears, and she showed me this little rabbit. She really liked it, but I think it was a Cherished Teddy's rabbit, but I didn't know Cherished Teddy's did rabbits. No, they're not Cherished Teddy's. And she liked this little deer, but it's an Avon bottle. She said, that's a bottle? You could tell some of the Avon, the head turned a different color than the bottle. We're looking for glow on the glass. It was such a dark green, I had to hold it up to the light because it almost looked black down there. So she liked that. She said, this is what you always buy. It was a willow tree, and I showed her it was willow tree, and I was glad she recognized it. But that one, I think we've already had that one before, and they wanted like $18 for it. Some of the people in this mall want right at retail for their items. And Emmy's like, I've never been in this mall. I have never. And I thought I'd brought the kids to this mall, but I guess I hadn't. I looked back here because there's a skull lamp from like 1987, but they wanted $48 for it. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. But I did, when I was looking over here, I saw this piece of glass that I hadn't seen before. This one. And it just glows like you wouldn't believe. I didn't expect it to glow, but it did glow. I thought it looked like slag glass, but they call it uh, opalescent. And look at the glow. I was like, yes, please. Because it was like 75% off. And so I got it for $10. And I thought, or $7 actually. It was 50% off. So, and I was like, Emmy, look at that glow. And it's really pretty. It's a open sugar. And I thought at 50% off of $14, we can do that. Because it didn't have any chips or cracks or anything. And then I looked at this. It's very pretty. It doesn't glow and it looks more modern. But, it would have been $24 or $21, something like that. And that was still out of our price range. Because there's not a lot of room. I looked at this and then later we're going to go to a yard sale and I'll find the exact same vase, except the one that I find at the yard sale is broke. I would have gotten the one at the yard sale if it hadn't been broke. Because I thought, in my mind, if you find the same thing twice in two different places, it's meant for you to find it. So and I was looking, these items here were 50% off, but I didn't see anything we needed. This is going to be a longer video because it is a full day of her job shadowing, and we do have quite a few things we're going to end up getting. Okay, now we've gone to a yard sale in Derby. And Emmy liked this little basket, but it was really nasty on the inside, so we chose not to get it. This lady, my friend Kim from school, I got her started in buying storage lockers, and she had gotten 4 lockers at one time, so she was having a yard sale to move out some of the items that she was getting piled up with. Emmy's a lot more comfortable here. She's having more fun now because she knows she's in a totally different town, completely away from her sister. I was asking her if that was a fidget spinner, and I knew it was, but I didn't know if she was going to tell me that CJ would really like it or what. Oh, she showed me the salt pepper shaker, but sadly the foot was broken on it and there wasn't a mate to it. And then she was pointing out other fidget spinners there. And this, she found this lamp and it matches the glass that Amanda got me for Christmas, and it's one of those wax melters, and it works perfect. It looks great. I'll show you a picture. We found this vintage Monopoly, and we Emmy looked to see if all the pieces were there. It was from 1961. It was a That was the copyright inside. It was 1961 Monopoly game. And the board was in really good condition. When we got home, CJ checked to make sure all the pieces were there, and they were. So we decided to get it because it was only $3. And we're just looking around, seeing if there's anything that I was pointing out, these are things that goes on the end of your skillet so you can pick it up by the handle on a stove. Amy says, "They're sunflowers." I said, "Yes, they are." I think I must have been looking away when we found the little sword. I loved this letter K, and it looks like it's all broke, and it's really heavy. And when I turned it over, the back of it, it had one crack across it, but it didn't look broke the rest of the way. And I didn't know if it was broke. And it had somebody's name across the top of it, like Gerald King or something like that. And for that reason, I left it. And I asked her what this was, and we determined it was a baby monitor. There's the other vase that I found that matched the one that I saw at the antique mall. Exact same vase, but that one's broke. You can see the massive break inside it. And that was a brass piece, but I don't know if I have buyers online for brass. Emmy was wondering what that was, and she said, "Oh, it's for little kids." She liked this little chest, but it was in very bad condition. And then I was looking at this Apple monitor. It's like a computer monitor all in one. And CJ already has a keyboard, and I was like, I wonder if this works. I wonder how much is it. And Emmy's like, you're not thinking what I think you're thinking, because we already told CJ we weren't getting him a new computer. And I'm like, but he does have a birthday coming up. She said, Butch wouldn't be happy. He wouldn't get upset, but he wouldn't be happy. And for that reason, I just let it go. And Emmy was also telling me that CJ had figured out a way to make his computer work by hooking it to his television. So he doesn't have to use the monitor part. He just hooks the monitor part, which is computers inside of it, to his television, and he has a larger computer screen now. It's like 36-inch computer screen now. And he's happy with it, so he figured out a way to make the best out of a bad situation. I liked this purse, but it was in really bad condition, and I had never heard of Blair Rocks. So I didn't know if it would have resale value or not. And even at $1, purses have always just sat for me. They don't. And then I decided I'm going to come over here and look at some artwork that's down here. And then I asked Kim, I'm going to ask Emmy to, I like that, but it was a shelf sitter. I'm going to ask Emmy to move a picture so I can look at a cross. And I said, Kim, how much is this cross? And she's going to run over there and grab it because she had bought it for herself. And she didn't want it to be sold, and her husband had put it out. It's a big, beautiful cross. I mean, that thing is like up to my chest. And I would have bought it. Because the person that buys a lot of crosses from me, I don't know what she's doing with them, but I think she collects them. But I think that would make a beautiful focal point. And there's Kim coming to steal the cross. Like, it's not for sale. I'm glad it was me, somebody that knew her, that she pulled it away from. And I can understand that. If somebody's helping you put things out for a yard sale and you really wanted something for yourself and didn't intend it to go into the sale. I love these. They look like pencil drawings. I think they were just prints. But then I love this owl one. And I was going to get it for my son-in-law. But when we started to pick it up, we realized that it was broken out of the frame. And because where they just moved into my dad's house, my daughter and son-in-law, they have plenty of wall space to put it up on. And so, but we paid our $5 at this yard sale, and then we are going to be going someplace else. See you there. Okay, so now we are at the Goodwill in Derby, and Emmy's still job shadowing. And this is to the point where my camera is going to tell me that I have too many videos in it and it will not record. There's only about 10 minutes of this video, before my camera completely shuts off. And then we will do our recap. We had to come home and offload all the videos. Um, we did go to the Goodwill in Derby. I mean, in Andover later. We didn't find anything in the large artwork. So we come over. I liked this cross, and we looked at this cross. It's resin. It's not real heavy, but it was, I'm gonna say, about 4 pounds, 3 pounds, and it was nice, but I didn't know if it was just too big. Now I can go back and get it, but it was $9, so that was just under the price limit I was asked to stay under. And Emmy was looking at greenery. She wants to do some art projects with greenery. And then she said it's either I need some water or I need something to eat, because her medicine that she takes in the morning, it makes her start feeling weak and dizzy in the middle of the day if she doesn't eat lunch. So we'll leave her and I'll go get her something to eat for lunch. They didn't have anything special in the little picture frames. I had never heard of Republic for, or Replica, I think is what it was, for figurines. I had never. So we're looking down through the seasonal, which they've cleared a lot of it out. That little red box didn't. It opened, but I didn't know how to open it. And with Emmy not standing right there, she was showing me this angel, but it it wasn't anything real special. It looked like it was a hobbyist piece or something from Hobby Lobby. I like this cross, but it's very lightweight, and it also is a shelf sitter. And these little mice were cute. But I thought they were salt and pepper shakers, but they weren't. They're just attached to the. Emmy's trying to get into looking at things and showing me things that she likes, which are things that I know won't sell. But that's what I wanted, her perspective of what she sees when she looks. But that was really scratched up. It was flash painted. And the bottom shelf didn't have anything on it. She was looking to see what that was, and it was a belt buckle. She really liked these birds at $3 each, but I didn't see enough special in them. She asked me what that spring was for, and it's like a trampoline. So I picked the bird up to find out how much the value on it was, and I would have to charge $6, and that's pretty much right at what Hobby Lobby would charge. So, and she liked that. And a fondue pot. And she takes off and goes the other way. She was looking at that. It was broke. And she started, the pieces just fell out of it. She said, I guess it's not quality. I said, nope. And we're looking at this end cap. Nothing. And then we come over here and look at this end cap. I don't know what she was showing me on the top shelf. I didn't move the camera up there. I'm so sorry about that. Hamster wheel. And this is the metals and wires. I don't usually find a lot in here, but you do have to really look sometimes. And this is the woods and baskets. Letter T. And this was an inlaid enamel, but it was very, very poor. It hadn't been taken well care of. Or it was well loved and very wore. I like this one too, but and when I found out later that I needed the Mary mushrooms, I should have gotten it. But a friend of mine asked me to start looking for Mary mushrooms for him. I found this. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's reclaimed ceiling tile with an ornate cross on it, but it was made in China. So it was just beautiful. And I liked this bracelet. It's a bracelet, but you could also put a votive candle inside of it. Okay. You could use this as a candle holder or a cuff bracelet. And Emme was showing me this basket, but it was very broken. And I like this Bell cookie jar, but I didn't know if I had the buyer market to purchase something like that. And then I was telling her, she said, that's got a big mouth. It's for putting your sponge scratchy thing in at your kitchen sink. And then that basket was also very broken. This one's cute. It looks like a little baby doll bassinet. And then we liked that one, but it wasn't a very good quality. And then I said, look at this flower thing. And she's like, oh, it's broken right in the middle. It looks like something came out of it. Good eye, Emme. Good eye. They're my. Okay, so now we have gone to the Goodwill in Andover, and I realize this video is lengthy. I'm sorry, but when we went home to offload videos, I still hadn't realized that, because the light's coming on my microphone, but I hadn't realized that the battery was dead on the port part. I'm sorry, I took a drink of coffee. So we picked CJ up when we went to offload videos off my phone so it would work. And now we're back at our final stop for the day. And Emmy's showing me things. I asked her if that was a candle because I had one in my store when I had my store and it had a candle in it. I couldn't figure out what this was. It's not a shaker of any sort. It's just a piece of figurine type thing. I was trying to figure out what this was, and it was a little margarita or something. That was a bell. Amy was showing me these ornaments. They're very heavy. They're blown glass, and they're very heavy, but there's no way to hang them. They just sit on something. And there's a couple more of them. And I was telling her they'd be good in some of the art projects she wants to do. And she said, yeah, but they're too heavy and would take up too much space. And I said, okay. She says, there's an acorn tray. She was looking at that base and realized really quick that it was flash painted, so she put it back. And then she noticed that this pumpkin was also flash painted, and that one was not a very good quality. She's doing really good. And she likes these rubber grapes. She's attracted to the rubber grapes. She says, they look so real. And then she picks this up and she says, I'm afraid when I pick something up it might not be quality. I said, well, that's the only way you learn. You have to feel what you're touching to learn what it's about and if it's quality. And then she showed me this letter K. Yay, Emmy! Found a letter K. And I got totally out of sequence on what I'm doing. So the recap will just, you'll see a bunch of things bought off camera because my camera is just about to run out of video space. And then I looked at her and I said, look, that letter K was right beside a letter P. And she says, what are the odds? And I said, we're being stalked. It's a setup. And then she was asking me, why does she collect the letter K? I said, she said she was making a wall of letter K's because her last name starts with a K. And she said, oh, that's so cool. I said, maybe you can do one when you and CJ get married and have your own house. You can do one for y'all's last name or do it with your first names. And then she found this little vase and it was just too cute. So we had to get that little vase. And she was trying to figure out if the insert come out of the inside of this tin. It looks like it would, but it just didn't. I don't know if you can hear the rattling around upstairs. CJ's fixing to take a shower. And I had looked at this little, or I'm looking at the vase, and then Emme will come right behind me and pick the same vase up. It must be a calling. That vase must have been calling to me. Thought this was cute, but it wasn't anything special. It was very lightweight. Nothing on the bottom shelf. She liked this little hanger, and I didn't even know what it's for. I thought maybe to hang a plant outside or something, but the top of it was coming off. CJ was asking if he could have that fox thing to hang his coat on in his bedroom. And then this little plastic thing that he puts his beads in for his, because he does that diamond art painting. And he wanted this little plastic thing for making popsicles. And I said, no, he's a little too old for that. And Emme was asking me what that pink thing was, and it was that perfume bottle. And then she showed me this little egg that she said, it's broke. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't know that she was meaning that it looked like a broke egg that the chicken had come out of, or if it was broke. So I just took it as it being broke. And I was looking at this, I was trying to figure out what it was. It's got a really pretty cross on it, and it's a matches holder for by your fireplace. You put a box of matches in there, and CJ's asked me if I wanted these salt and pepper shakers that were pineapples, and I said no. And Emme found this little basket. It is just too cute, and we got that because it is bamboo. And I thought if it doesn't sell, she can use it for an art project. She liked that. It has little pink crystal rocks or salt rock. Is it salt rock that's got inside there? But it lights up, and it doesn't have a very strong light. CZ&W. I don't know what CZ&W was, but then we looked through the baskets. She said, have you ever seen a heart-shaped basket? I said, yeah, and I reach up on top shelf and pull another one down. And that was too large of a basket. And she liked this little heart basket, but it wasn't anything special. The quality wasn't there. I was looking at those. They were really cute. I didn't know what they were for, but I guess you could put bananas or apples or something on them in your kitchen. And CJ's like, is this praying hands? I said, no. And he's like, is this praying hands? I said, yes, this is praying hands. But at $9, which is what they were asking for it, it was out of our price range. But we can go back and get it, because I was telling him that she would have to pay $12 for them. And they were good quality. And then Emme saw this little nautical basket, and it was really cute. And we did end up getting the nautical basket one. And then this is the purple and pink end cap. And I looked this over again to see if it was anything of quality. And then I did notice, I was thinking, it's really pretty. And then I was looking really close and I found that the petals were broken right there on that flower. So we left it. And then this was flash painted. And I found this picture frame, and it is so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, we can get that. And there's another picture frame down below here, but it wasn't quality. It didn't have the thing wasn't on the back of it, and there was no way to hang it. And that looked like crackle glass, but when the person put the resin in it to hold the flowers, it didn't hold. So it was not quality. And then I found this one. It looks like it's in a, but the flowers were all faded and it had actually sat in a window or something where the sun could get on it, and the flowers were really faded. And then Emme found this one, and it's on a little wire stand. So we did get this one because it is pretty. Picture, record. I was looking at these melamine trays. There's 3 of them, and they were really pretty. I'm thinking I want to change the plates in my house, but I haven't found any. And then I found these green ones, and I thought, oh yeah, I could change to those. But then I decided not, because I already have green plates, and they look like eggs. They're like a triangle, but they're kind of egg shaped at the same time. And CJ just hates when I use them because they don't stack together right when I wash them, and he has to put them away. And this is the popsicle thing CJ wanted, and I thought, well, he could use those for his beads, and then I realized they don't come apart, so he would spill all of his beads trying to empty them. And then he found 2 letters K, a black one and a white one, and we picked those up because letter K sells really good for us. And this one looks like it was whitewashed from like a fence or something. And then Emme recognized that as Ray Dunn, but I got rid of most of the Ray Dunn out of my store when I closed my store. So I'm not picking up Ray Dunn because the resale value just isn't there anymore. I'm drinking a cup of coffee, I'm sorry. And then the little snow village. And we couldn't figure out what this was. It says it tops something, but then it has something that sits inside the top of it, and it just didn't make sense. I didn't know what it was for. And I looked at this little trinket box. It was pretty, but it wasn't marked by anybody. If you watch CJ's videos on Viper's Day, he actually picked up that same ornament, and I thought it was really neat now that I've seen CJ's video that came out a couple days ago, that him and Amy both picked up the same piece. This is a fruit drainer, or berry drainer. And Amy was like going, ho, ho. I said, no, turn it around. It's, oh, oh. And this was not anything special. I was thinking those would work for his beads, but they wanted $1.99 for each one of those little cups, and they weren't all six there. And after watching CJ's Viper's Day video, he also picked the same thing up, and he realizes the same thing. They're not all there. And I like these green plastic bowls, but there were only 3 bowls to go with the salad bowl. And so for that reason, I didn't pick them up. Because they would have been 99 cents each. Emmy really liked that Paris plate. And there's the lamps and clocks and items. That's like a doorbell thing. I didn't know what that was. It says Logitech. I guess it's some kind of speakers for your TV or something, or computer. A mini DVD player, or portable for your car. And I don't know what that, oh, that's for one of those cricket things. And that's a light. And that's a little Shrek Monopoly. Amy was asking me, you got Monopoly? I said, I only want the vintage ones. So then there's small electronics and appliances over here. There's not much here. I think we go through this aisle. We would go through quicker if there wasn't somebody standing in my way. Amy's like, you can get this at Dollar Tree. And I like that clock, but we noticed last time that the pendulum is missing. And she liked that Eiffel Tower ring holder. And those salt and pepper shakers. There's another Eiffel Tower ring holder. We liked these, but they were very modern. And I don't know Monica Straggle. But they weren't all the same. They were all 3 different. And she said, you can get these at Dollar Tree. Looking at those tiles. And then they put the toys down on this end. This used to be all the whatnots and mismatched stuff, but they've cleaned it out. And I was thinking about this for a new computer case, this briefcase. But I got another computer case, and I'm not carrying my laptop with me anymore to go to the store, so. And there's more of those tiles, peel and stick tiles. I was looking at these, but they were small and medium, and Butch has a lot of problem with his legs and ankles. And with him still being over almost 300, he weighs 275 now. So, his feet and ankles are just too big yet for small and medium, because he does have size 11 foot. And then I thought about the surge bar, because I have more things in my house now, so I need more places to plug things in. But then I thought, I've got a lot of surge bars and extension cords. And I don't know what a hanging back is. It's for items in your closet that you hang them up and then put the vacuum seal on it. I like that picture frame, but it wasn't anything. And this one's just absolutely beautiful. I had to have that one. I thought, oh wow. And then I don't know where my cart went. There it is. Emmy's looking at the florals. Can I get this? Yeah, sure. You want to use them for an art project? Get them. These picture frames were just Walmart picture frames. And that's like a shadow box thing, but I don't know how to open it I couldn't figure out how to open it to put anything inside it. But this one has, the backing is just amazing. It's got a wood stand and on a hinge, and I had to get that. And then these were little lightweight frames. But then I looked at this frame and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I didn't even notice it was a Hobby Lobby frame, but I just loved it. It's just so beautiful. So we got that frame too. And then I was telling Emmy there was more florals up above there. And these are all the same frame. Nothing special, just white wooden frames. And we come around and look at this, and I was telling her that this fruit would look good in whatever she was doing for an art project. And she's like, I don't know what to do with them. I said, whatever you want. And I thought this was pretty, but it was plastic. It was like melted plastic. And CJ had pointed out these pheasants to me, but they wanted $8 a piece for them. So I did not get those. And these are dash hounds wrapped around tree stumps, salt and pepper shakers. I just had to have those. They were just too cool. I have a friend that collects dash hounds, so if they don't sell, they'd make a good gift for her. Her birthday is in September, so. $7 for one of those pheasant wall hangings. That would just be, there's no resale value there. My personal opinion, I think they have somebody in the back that is looking items up and finding out what their value is on eBay, and then that's how they're pricing them now, because that's what they see us as resellers on YouTube doing. But I could be wrong. I mean, I totally could be way off on my thinking. And then I step away from Emmy, but I'm not allowed to get too far away because she'll call me back. I'm joking. I'm joking. But she will call me back. That's flash painted on the bottom. Those are the salt and pepper shakers CJ asked if I wanted earlier. And I'm trying to look down the metals and wires. We already looked at that aisle. I knew there was one of these aisles I hadn't been down yet because it had too many people in it. And then I found this picture frame, and it is just absolutely amazing. It's it'll be in the recap. It's an oval frame with, it's pewter with flowers on it. It has a really good resale value. Now look around here at the little tchotchkes. This tray didn't look like it fit on that riser. I don't know. And a new cart. I gotta go look. I don't see anything special. I saw that Jayhawk, but it wasn't the right colors. And I looked at this canister. It's a rooster, but it's just got a little black rooster on the top, and the resale value just wasn't there. So Emme calls me back. Can I have all of these? Yeah? So this one would be better because of the greenery, but you don't want the ones that look really fake like that. And she's like, this one is kind of ugly, isn't it? I said, yeah. She got quite the haul on flowers. I don't know what I was looking for there. Sorry, my arm had a little spasm there. And then I was telling her if you got some of these rocks in colors and we did resin, it would show up. If and put them in the clear resin, they would show up. CJ showed me some crosses that he found, and I'm like, okay, let me see the next one. Take a hold of this one. Okay, so then I look at this one. Sorry I didn't hold the camera up but well enough. I thought I was, but I was looking with my eyes and not with the camera. I'm sorry. But they're in the recap because we did get them. They were like $2.99 each or something. I thought this was a Mexican pottery plate, but it is not. LTD. And CJ said, look at those dolphins. But they wanted $7 a piece for them. They were beautiful. They were about 14 inches tall. And then I found this little shadow box from Seaside Creations, and we got that. It'll be in the recap. And then look at this cross. Isn't it amazing? I think it was a home project attempt at fused glass. And it's done with a kind of a shrink wrap over the top of the crystals and the glass crosses. Very nice looking. And there's the rooster canister that I looked at on the cart that she brought out. And I looked, that was heavy. It says it's not for food use, and we don't want that because somebody couldn't put their fruit or whatever in it, but that's what it looks like, a fruit compote. But it was really heavy. And then I found this little baby goose. He was just too cute. So I had to get that. But there was something else I wanted to, so I'm going to reach back and get it. When my cart gets here. And since Emme was trying to do the shopping and picking out, of course it looks like I'm doing it because she got stuck with looking at the flowers, but she's like, I understand what you mean now because CJ's finding all the stuff and you're not really getting to shop. And I said, yeah, that's what I mean when I'm talking about it. The customers like to see me shop the shelves, and when he brings everything, then I don't have anything to find on the shelves. And Easter egg, we're going to look back here. I know we're way over an hour here, and I'm sorry for that. But this is a day of job shadowing, and we're almost to the end, I promise. And then we'll do the recap, and it'll be very long because I got quite a few items here from a whole day of shopping. Okay, so now we are discussing these beads. These are the kind of beads I was telling her that would look good in her art projects. And I said if we found something that we could put them in. And that vase was the same price as a basket that we were purchasing. So we just decided to dump the beads in the basket, and then when we got to the register, I told her that the beads were just in the vase and they were the same price. So, and we were getting the basket, so she let us have the beads. I said, you can charge me $2 more for the beads if you want. She said, no, if they were in the vase, you'll get them at that price. And I said, okay.